Hi guys, welcome back to the Cycles podcast. Me, your girl, Adiambo, Kisumu City. You're hanging out with me, Mabe Cheryl, and with me here I have an amazing guest.
Yay! I introduced myself.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Alexia Msao, and I'm very excited to be here. I'm a huge fan of the Cycles podcast. I've loved to see your growth so far, your commitment. Yeah, it's amazing. I also have a podcast, so this is where I'll plug it. It's called Bant of a Branch that I do with Alice Kanji, so you can also check us out.
So I wanted to talk about that, but now before I get there,
Yes.
I just want to give these guys a background of where we met.
Oh yeah, I actually remembered today. Like, I've known you. So today I was like, oh, by the way, where did we meet?
We were actually chasing the same thing in
Yes.
2019. And then we made it Paka Mwisho wa
Paka
Journey.
Mwisho, yeah. So guys, that was the NRG competition.
Yeah.
What were they calling it? I feel like it had
NRG
a name.
MVPs.
MVPs,
something.
yes, MVPs, and we made it to top 100. I think out of so many people who applied for it. Yeah, how was that for you?
For me, I felt hopeful at first, especially because we made it that far.
Yeah.
But now throughout the process, the nerves and everything.
Yeah. And then trying not to, I feel like for me, I had to keep telling myself, don't be overconfident, because everyone in this room is really, really talented. And even me, I could see people I was really admiring, you know. But obviously we didn't make it to the top 3 or top 5. But I was like,
That's
was an amazing
that surprised
experience.
me the most.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you took 40 people and then you just cut down to 3. Like, they would have made their work easier.
Yeah, but it's okay. I think one of the best people they chose. Okay, everyone was amazing, but like seeing Crazy Kenna, I think because he was in my group.
Was he?
Yeah,
Are you
he was in my
joking?
group, and then he won the content. There was many categories: DJ, hosts, and content creators, and he won the content under the content creator category alongside 3 army men or something like that.
Tony
Yeah,
Kibbs
so I'm
as
so
well.
excited to see that he's actually doing really well, and they recognize that talent even then. So yeah.
So, if you don't mind my asking, do you think that's what gave birth to like Bant of a Branch? Or was Bant of a Branch an idea even before an NRG?
That's a very interesting question, actually. For my co-host Alice, I feel like she felt like we could start a podcast together after she saw me go for the NRG competition and just go through with it, because before then we weren't really friends, but we had mutual friends. So, but she didn't know about me, she didn't know about my interests or anything. So just before the competition, we had gone on a trip together. So that's when we got to know each other. And then I think now, because the competition was so public, you know, it was on Instagram, we were on YouTube. Even me, I got out of my shell. Sana,
They
it was so annoying.
announced the winners on live radio. Like,
Unasikia
majina.
Yeah, so I think that's when she was like, okay, and she had similar interests. So for her, she was like, okay, I think I can work with Alexia. And after a while, now, we started the podcast actually a year or so later.
Okay, that's interesting. So I want a follow-up question about that. How has it been? Because now, assuming you said you weren't friends when you started, but now that you've worked together, you've automatically
had to become friends.
Yeah, you've established a relationship.
Yeah.
How is it running a business? Because I think that's what it is,
Yes.
with a friend.
I'm usually very skeptical about involving friends in business and in even passion projects and just anything in general. I'm just like, let's just be friends, you know? So I think for us, one of the things that we made clear from the beginning is to just set boundaries and we drafted like a small contract, you know, just to make sure everyone shows up and does what's required of them. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have rules or if you don't have any guiding principles, then you leave a lot of room for people to decide how they want to move, you know. And even then, we weren't even making money out of the podcast. It was just something we were doing. But now that we're making money out of the brand, we have to revisit those rules and add now, okay, so how are we moving now that it's become commercialized, you know, and stuff like that. So I think for me, it's just set those boundaries. Boundaries are there to protect you. They're there to protect the friendship. And at the end of the day, even with all those boundaries set, there may come a time that we may not be doing the podcast together. We don't know. Life changes.
Yeah, sure.
Circumstances change. And we always said the friendship, or rather the connection, was there way before the podcast.
Yeah.
So even if the podcast dies, God forbid, or whatever, we should be able to maintain the friendship. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also a very funny dynamic because we also don't hang out at the two of us as much unless it's a podcast thing or it's. I saw Murugi and Lydia saying that they are very good friends, but they only meet when they are doing the podcast. So they're trying to be very intentional about meeting outside of the podcast. Yeah, so we're also trying to navigate that.
Oh, that makes sense. Also, the past week has been a very interesting week because Spotify released their Wrapped, and it's basically where they show you as a consumer your trends. They show you that your the top people you've been listening to, the type of music you've been listening to, and all that. So I did check the Cycles podcast Wrapped, and it was quite interesting. Thank you so much to the Cycles audience, because we have been able to reach 26 countries.
Wow.
124 of you have Cycles as your number one podcast, which is crazy. Something that started, something that started in the bedroom with like earphones and everything, growing to that level is wild.
I understand, because then as episode 1 was in Alice's bed, sharing a mic at 2 a.m.
Can you imagine? And then every time you're recording, someone is opening the door. I have to click and
the neighbor is doing. That's the time people are playing. Yeah, you realize people have chicken in this neighborhood. It's a lot.
It's so wild.
Well done.
In that same breath, there's an event that Spotify put up just recently.
So I saw, yeah.
And there was a lot of heat concerning that event where people felt there was miss or no representation of artists as they had expected, because they feel Spotify is a platform that supports artists, and in this instance
as well.
It's just influencers.
Like only one podcast that I saw present, and yet Spotify is a music and podcast platform. So yeah, but I think for me, I wasn't shocked. I feel like in Kenya that aren't you used to this? Fenty, you saw the people who went. It's like people are just
not news.
Yeah, so I was like, again, disappointing, because I thought, especially for Spotify, surely it's not even a tea or a lifestyle. Okay, I know everyone listens to music, but we're listening to artists, so they needed to be a balance, because some people honestly who are there. Yeah.
For real. Also, I don't know how I felt about it. Okay, one, I was mad because I was checking. I was like, okay, I saw one person and I went and looked at their profile, and I was just like, there's nothing this person does that relates to either production or like content creation, podcast wise, or like music and all that, and they are there at the forefront in the event, and it was a bit wild. But then again, on the other end, I'm thinking about it from a marketing point of view, where maybe they want the noise to be there, and who else will
bring the noise
rather than the people who. But I don't know, I don't like this business of recycling influencers and stuff. There's so many people you can literally choose from. But again, this country, it's who that will get you places. And
but
stuff
there are some rooms I don't know if I'll go just for the sake of going. Like if it's not, I don't know, because people, it's like they go for events as a career. I don't know, are people being paid? Because every day you're somewhere.
I hear people get paid, but now I don't know, you must reach a certain level. So there's A-listers ever like this country, man.
Nah, but I still feel, even if it's marketing, I think musicians are like, surely musicians are the people, they're like our celebs, our local celebs. People don't even know influencers that much. They're just, okay, people know influencers, but I'm saying musicians reach a wider audience.
It's the reason why Spotify exists.
Exactly. And I think also even for the podcast space, I feel like there should have been better representation of podcasts as well, to draw people to listen to their favorite podcast on Spotify, so I feel like it wasn't balanced. It was more about, it was more of an influencer gig rather than a Spotify. And I mean, Spotify is like new still in the country. They're still trying to cut to the competition of Boomplay.
So the better for them to even reach the grassroots
exactly
to start from the top.
And I saw even they had a marketing campaign of, I think, paying 20 bob weekly or something to reach now people, because subscription is still a new thing to some people. So yeah, I feel like they could have done better, and I feel like even musicians and other key industry players would have created a bigger buzz about it. Yeah. And I feel like, brands need to style up when it comes
They
to
need to do their
these
homework,
events. And do
literally.
research. Don't just be lazy and say, okay, invite all these 10,
Mm.
the usual.
Recycling the same faces every now and then.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We're starting to sound bitter, but we're not bitter.
But not bitter.
It's
No,
a fact.
I'm even saying it from a marketing point of view, because even if
Yeah.
I'm dealing with a brand, I'd like to curate an
Diversity.
experience, not just
And
a
tap into
kawafi.
everyone's nini market, because
Yeah.
now you've exhausted one influencer. Let's not
Yeah.
continue. So in the previous episode, we talked about how your relationship is coming to an end, because I feel like November, this end of the year,
Contract renewals,
is like breakup season.
Yeah.
It's like transfers in football.
transfers. Mhm.
So I wanted to ask you if you have ever initiated a breakup, and if you did, how did you do it?
Okay. So fun fact, I've been in one relationship my whole life, and that's the current relationship I'm in.
You're a liar, and the devil hates.
People don't
the
believe
devil
me,
hates liars.
but
It's God hates liars.
God hates liars. The devil loves liars. But
Stop
yeah,
lying.
imagine if someone claims they're my boyfriend, they're not, except my
But that
current
must be nice.
or
So
my
you
ex.
haven't
I have
experienced
0
heartbreak.
exes. I have
How?
situationships,
Oh my God, you're
but
toxic.
those are also relationships, I
You're
guess.
toxic.
Yeah. So have I ever initiated a breakup?
The
Not
breakups
a
in
breakup.
situationships.
Yeah, that's how I'm trying to think about it. Okay, I think I have, but I wouldn't say it was even a serious situationship. It's
Mhm.
just, it was a situationship where I saw that this guy really, really likes me,
Mhm.
and I wasn't there,
Mhm.
So I initiated me. I told him, this thing is not working. Me, I'm not
Mhm.
where you're at.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think that's the most I've done in terms of initiating a
And
breakup.
ghosting. Have you ghosted?
Of course.
You're toxic.
Of course. And I admit I'm a poor communicator. By the time I'm telling you, I don't think this is, I've really
You've
tried.
overthought
I've
it
really tried, and I
to
respect
evade
you.
you.
Actually, I respect you. If by the time I'm coming to tell you, it's not working, because I'd rather just,
Let them
I'm
leave it.
childish. I'm actually quite childish. I used to think I'm a good communicator, and I'm like, I know what I want, and I can tell you, but I'm not really. So I've ghosted, but I also didn't let it marinate sana. So it's like early stages ghosting. So it's not too deep.
That's
Yeah,
okay. I don't.
yeah.
If it's early stages, I don't even think you need to give an
Okay.
explanation.
Oh, I'm good. I'm not childish anymore, guys. I'm very mature. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I have initiated a breakup, and it was. I was also weird. I was dating a Muslim before, so
Nice.
actually my history is just pure Muslim. I don't know
Okay.
why.
Are
And
you willing
I
to?
keep having that conversation with my mom. Keeps asking
Yeah,
me,
because she's
Mekuta, are you
Mariam,
sure?
Mariam.
Because they call me. What do they call me? Aisha. They call me
Aisha,
Aisha.
yeah.
So even when I say siwataki, najikuta tu,
you
najikuta
just
tu. So
attract them.
whatever. So this one, it was during Ramadan, and during Ramadan,
They don't even like to look at girls. It's a sin.
it's a sin to even say hi to you.
They won't text
It's
you.
a sin to text you.
I've been with
Ati
a
because
guy.
if they text you, you will utanini madhambi zao.
Yeah.
You'll make them sin.
I sold after Ramadan.
Sasa during that Ramadan period, it's like hakuna kuongea nini. You just remember you have a boyfriend, but like
fasting.
ni theory. Sasa when Ramadan was ending is now when he hit me up. So it's just like hivi vile mnagostiana alafu watu wanarudi. Sasa ilikuwa hivyo. By this time I think I was doing my healing. I think I was just moving on in peace. So when he hit me up, I was just like, oh, okay,
You're back.
You exist.
Yeah.
So I went and met him. And then that time when we were meeting, it's like akili yangu ilianza kunini, tukaanza to have the conversation. Like, honestly, there's that issue of conversion and whatnot. And I just sat there and I listened, and then we told each other truths. And then when we left, I thought, maybe we can continue. So 2 days later, I'm just like, you know what? After the things we talked about, I don't think this thing can go anywhere at all.
What did he want? Did he want
there was that
convert?
part of converting, and I was just like, if we can't, because I've seen people who just retain their identity, but they but they continue the relationship. So that one was, I felt a bit scared for that.
And it's a big choice for you.
Yeah, and then now
decision.
the distance that 1 month had created. When you're used to somebody. I don't know, when they're not there
anymore. It was like a mini breakup.
It was like a mini breakup. So yeah, and I've told you, I was doing my healing then.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what? I'd rather just be honest with myself and just be honest about the situation and just say, Nini. So I just sent a text. I said, hi, I don't think this is working.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, okay, fine. And it didn't even have to be that they said that. Unaweza kuwa unatuma text hivyo ukihope mtu atakwambia,
No,
no,
I think
we
we
can
can
do
work it
this.
out. Maybe just take some time. No, him was ready, I
Yeah,
guess.
even him.
But
I'm sure the month had done that same thing to him. So
how long had you dated?
it wasn't long.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 months, 3 months there.
Okay, but I think also because you and me, I've had a thing with like a Muslim guy, and not saying anything bad, but like I feel like they're so. Because when we talked about it, it's like I converting, like they'd rather just marry one of their own, you know. And he did marry one of his own
He did
recently.
get
So
married.
and that's because it's not bad blood, you know. It's just that that's a huge change, you know. And I feel like he also didn't want to put that burden up on any one of his girls. So he'll mess with the Christians, but he'll
Oh my
marry.
God, now you're making me think negatively.
No, it's not
There's an
bad.
expose on Nani's page, Edgar Barry. There's a time he did an expose, and then people were commenting, and they're like, "Hey, this guys, they'll never marry from CG outside, nini." But now me,
the statistics.
bado najikuta anyway. So
Statistics.
tuseme tu I never learn.
Yeah. Anyway.
So other than now breaking up the inverse, have you shot your shot before?
Of course, I feel like girls shoot their shot. Me, I follow you. That's me shooting my shot, and it's very effective usually.
But how are you telling us you shot your shot? You're telling us you've initiated a breakup, but you've never been in a relationship, Alexia.
Because after shooting the shots, that's nonsense.
You shot blank.
Then they they became something, but it was just time wasting, you know.
I love a self-aware queen.
Yeah,
I love it.
just time wasting.
When you can see something for what it is.
And then I'm usually still in denial. You try, and then after you just say, okay, sitabebo falatena. So, but I've had very successful shots, honestly. It just didn't lead to relationships.
Okay.
But for me, success is we got to talk and to waste each other's time for a while.
At least you know what it entails.
Yeah, so for me, I think I'm quite confident. So for me, I'd follow,
or like
reply,
or go like a specific post from 20.
Yeah, I have no shame. But I'm always surprised when they like me back, or like when it's
but I feel like men are so cheap. They obviously
but I also feel like it spoils the whole thing. But anyway,
when you find out that they like you back in Aribu,
because
you
I know
want
it
to
won't work
toil.
out. But I know it won't work out. It's too easy.
You want to toil.
Let's give it some time. Don't come now and say, "Oh, I actually like you."
You are dead. Now, why did you shoot your shot if you didn't want them to like you back?
Don't make it easy for me, Pia. You know.
Are you a hunter?
Because I feel like it's a nice fantasy. Once they've said they like you back, now the hard work begins. The torture begins. You know, it's better when you prolong your suffering.
You prolong the wondering if they like you back.
Yes, that's the exciting part.
Oh no!
Now once it's the name, it's now downhill.
Okay,
from there.
Now
Most
I'm scared
of
of
the time.
even liking anybody. I have shot my shot before.
Yeah.
Did one was successful, but that one I shot it so weirdly.
Why? What did
We were
you
just
do?
seated together. It was we were actually in first year, so I was seated next to him. I don't know. Yeah, I was just looking. Niko naangalia hivi na naangalia na make sure ameona nimeangalia.
Namwangalia.
And then now his friend was a bit talkative. So his friend initiated a friendship with us. And then I was just like, you know what, me, that your other friend is the one I'm feeling and whatnot. And then from there so I shot my shot, but I made him like he had
come
to
for
be
you
the one to
still.
ask. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there are shots that have been declined, and there are shots that have been rejected.
Wow. How was that?
I don't know. It's usually, but now I'm used to it. The first time I was like, oh fuck.
What do you mean?
Where do I go from here?
Yeah.
How do I hide my face?
Yeah, can the ground open and swallow me?
But now they say, in fact, I usually anticipate a rejection before nini. So most of the time, the one I anticipate is, sorry, I'm actually seeing someone. If I see that, I'll nasikianga relief. On to the next one.
Yeah, at least you're seeing someone. It's not that you don't want
At
me.
least it's not that you don't want me. It's just also that tricky ones. They'll tell you they're seeing someone and then,
it's not
but we
serious.
can be friends. But we can still continue
Some
talking.
gray area. So what's that
And then
now?
I'm just like, I've even dodged a bullet because if anything comes out between us and someone else shoots their
That's what
shot,
you'll tell them.
they'll be open.
Until we can still be what?
Go
Be
to hell.
friends.
Go
Nope,
to hell.
nope, nope.
And the moment they say we can be friends, that's when I don't even want a
Yeah.
friendship with them
That
because
starts being something else.
they're
That's
a red flag.
it's a very gray area. Friends. Then they know
Yeah.
you like them.
Yeah.
They'll
Because I
start
feel
giving
like
you
they'll
mixed
abuse-
signals.
Eh.
They'll start shaking you funnily. You wonder, okay, you think, oh, so you broke up
And
with
then
your girlfriend.
and then when it happens, they're just like, but what?
Then
I told you I'm
Instagram,
seeing
you see
someone.
100 flowers, 200 flowers, not for you, for the girlfriend.
Can you
As
imagine?
you said, then you start
Or
asking
you
questions.
just see
But
a
I told you,
reel.
I'm in a relationship.
A real yenye amepropose Masai Mara. Alafu atakwambia, but I told you. Okay, I hate these things. I hate these things.
Hectic.
It is tough.
It's hectic.
Have you been rejected? Have you shot shots that have declined? Na ukasikia dunia isimame?
No, I don't think so.
Oh wow, you don't even know what heartbreak
Yeah,
is.
actually, I don't know. No, I've had my fair share of heartbreak, but not rejection. Okay,
Okay.
rejection in terms of I wanted this thing to progress to something else, and then the person is like, no, I'm not ready for a relationship. And then 2 weeks later, they're in a relationship.
Ew.
So the with you was
With
very
you was
silent.
silent.
Yeah.
Okay, I hate men.
Yeah, that's like a funny because you don't know whether to feel heartbroken.
Yeah.
It's like a funny state.
But I feel like as long as you didn't explore something, you can heal very
Yeah,
easily.
I know you can heal.
Just 2 days of no communication and then you're back
and you're
to
good to
normal
go.
programming.
Yeah, true.
So we're gonna move to the next segment of this episode and we're going to be discussing our icks.
Yeah, this thing has been trending all over Twitter and whatnot, and it's such a funny conversation because I feel like everyone has an ick. Like even if you ask like someone icks about you, there's something they're going to say, and it's so.
I feel like that's.
I'm like,
you
think, oh no, never been avoiding
never-
that
it's
conversation
like-
because me, I don't want to hear my icks. I don't to me.
It's like when even people talk about toxicity, you never think you're toxic, and then now they start pointing it out, and you're like, "That's me
For real?
For real?"
Oh no, I'm bad. I'm a bad person.
So you wanna break it up for us?
Yeah, I think for me, I start with my icks.
Yeah.
Hey, brought to you by Ombachi. So Dennis Ombachi posted a very weird video because as an athlete, I believe he can swim. So I don't know what camera tricks were happening there. But anyway, ick number 1, a man who doesn't know how to swim. Surely, a grown up.
Can you imagine?
I feel like swimming is like driving. It's a skill. It's a necessary
Okay, don't
skill.
equate it to driving.
No,
driving some
people who don't know how to drive. You don't know how to drive.
I can't.
Ick.
I don't. You're, okay. Sure.
No, for a girl it's better. Imagine a guy mnaenda
Okay.
unagonganisha.
True.
Unamwambia break.
Sa mwanaume anasema ajui kuswimu ni hadi watu wakicheza kwa river yeye ako anaenda.
Yeah, please. You know, like
It's
you
like
need to
a
be able
guy-
to save me in case of anything. You need to be. No, I feel like
It's
no.
like a guy who's not interested in football. I find that so weird.
For real.
Or a guy who doesn't know anything about football. Or a guy who doesn't play
Play
football.
football.
I don't know. I find it, to
Okay,
me,
okay.
it's a bit strange.
When I think about it, yeah. But imagine swimming. You've gone swimming. Someone is slapping the water, looking for
To grab
air,
a babe, kick,
coughing. Die. No, too many dramas.
babe,
Please.
kick.
Yeah.
Oh my
If you don't know how
god.
to swim, I think it's a good skill. Learn how to swim.
So big men at their ages should learn how to swim.
Yeah.
Me, my very big ick is when am I seeing you? I really don't like that question. Like, what the hell? So
I
just
think if
figure
it's not
out-
from you, if it's not from someone you like,
Okay, if it's not from someone you like, they can ask you when am I. Okay, yeah,
you
true.
get like when a guy is
Yeah.
on you, but you're not feeling him. So when he
Mhm.
asks you that, that's like you. They're not seeing me anytime. But if it's someone you like,
When am I seeing
You'll
you?
feel
Is so
butterflies.
lazy. No,
no.
no. When am I seeing you? Is so lazy.
But what if you're
If
busy?
it's someone I like, they just say, "Hi, are you available tomorrow or Thursday?"
No, but maybe you have a big. Okay.
That's
The way
better. It's hi, are you available
they
on this
okay.
day?
How
When
they
am
phrase.
okay, fine. Maybe I'm saying, what am I saying? Me bora
It
nikiona
just
when am I
sounds-
seeing you is That's a
Put you
turn off.
off.
Yeah, just ask me if I'm available tomorrow
Mm.
or today or Friday
When
even
am I seeing
basi.
you? Maybe it sounds
When am I seeing
yeah.
you is like acha tu nimuulize alafu aniambia ako busy alafu hii story iishe.
Ishe.
Mi sitaki.
Look for me.
Alafu na kuna watu wenye they just come tell you there's a reservation I've made. Wewe ukiambiwa hivyo unaweza hata kataa. Hata kama uko na nguo si unaweza pata tu saa hiyo.
If I like you, if I don't, why are you overdoing?
If you don't, hata mtu mwenye ulike haezi reserve, hata
There's
akireserve
some
pia.
people who are overconfident, you wonder.
Okay.
Like, so you think, hey, you
Well,
go for that
ukishaambiwa tu,
reservation
come,
yourself.
your table is ready.
Yeah.
Even if I
it's a
don't have
car.
an outfit, I will find an outfit and I will
Yeah.
go.
When am I seeing you? By the way.
When am I seeing ni mbaya? Ni mbaya
I see your
kabisa.
point. I think my next one obviously has to do with nails and grooming. And okay, let's just talk about nails. Like, there's people even their nails are short but still dirty. Others, like, I feel like nails is the easiest thing to maintain, honestly. Nail cutter ni 50 bob. Why is your pinky finger? Why are your nails long as a man? Honestly, why?
Na hiyo saizo ana expect yuck.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There are even
yuck.
activities
you cannot even partake. No, but some have the audacity to even
try.
think of partaking with such thing.
Please.
Shame on
Kwanza
them.
ina store germs.
Alafu saizo ni kucha ya nini na iko na
Na
kaline
pinky.
kablack hapo hivyo katikati. Akieta nimekasirika. But even then they say they have an ache when a girl has ugly toenails. I think it's fair game now.
It's okay. They can't do much about it.
Yeah.
But you can cut your nails.
You can cut your nails.
And you can file. And you can go put colorless 100
Nini
kwa salon
gel.
ya estate.
Is it weird if a man uses feminine perfume?
Yeah.
Like a man ana spray good girl. Like akona a whole 100 ml of good girl perfume.
Just come out of the
na
closet.
Bath and Body Works.
Just come out of the closet.
So stop hiding.
Stop hiding. Okay, though. I saw a conversation on Twitter again about some ladies saying, oh, my son wanted to wear a dress. And I gave him a dress. We put makeup. And I don't know if it's because I'm just used to the heterosexual way of living.
Just high five me. Even me, I was so stressed reading that.
Yeah,
that
I was like, okay, I get, but I don't get.
I don't get at all.
Makeup?
I can't even try to get it. If they want a dress, they can get a dress. It's just like, and then they said, a gender that was assigned to him. And I'm just like, I don't know.
Na push.
It's a tricky whatever. But anyway, we don't want to be cancelled.
Yeah, no.
Just
I'm not. I don't think I'm like
controversial.
That. Yeah, but I think it just got me thinking
a
lot, and I was like, is that how I'm going to raise my kids? And and again, also I thought about the stereotypes. Like pink is for girls, blue is for boys. And if my son likes pink, I mean, there are men who wear pink right now.
Yeah.
We like discourage him. Yeah, it just got me overthinking a lot. But
okay.
Yeah.
So the other ick I have is when they make a promise and provoked and then they don't keep it. Like, what the hell? I was fine before you even uttered those words. So you could just do us both a favor and just don't mention anything. Or if it's a surprise, just do it and then let me be surprised. But don't promise me you're going to surprise me and then I'm there waiting for the surprise and then it's not happening.
Especially it's, as you said, unprovoked. And you weren't even on that sugly. You were just living your life and then someone's like promising you the world and then
they don't
deliver
do
nothing.
It. Shame on you. Just keep quiet with your promises rather make them surprises.
Yeah. Hey, my second one, it's my third one, is a guy who in his group setting, I don't want to say the word, but he's like,
just say it.
He's like fine. The loser, people talk over him. Anatumwa. And he's being teased 24/7.
The jokes are about him.
He's just so weird around his friends. Zero confidence.
That's your pillar of strength.
And that's home. Imagine. No, actually, when you're dating, I think also make sure you hang around people in their friendship setups
before you actually choose.
Because I may have had an experience like that, and I was like,
and then you see the one you would rather be with there.
The alpha.
But now if all of us want alphas, now who will date
not
the
all alphas. Obviously, not everyone can be the alpha. And maybe you're not attracted to the alpha. But I
hear men say if if a group has an alpha, then you're in the wrong friendship group. Like that's not even a friendship in the
That's
first
like a
place.
funny name.
But either way, even when they say that,
But there's always
that dynamic is there.
Yeah,
That
there's always
dynamic is there.
The person who says, "Okay, let's go. Let's."
I think I've been with someone who was the loser in the group. And when they were being too much, I used to do it for them so that at least they feel, they maintain
boost.
their manhood. It's like, imagine when I'm too kwa jikoni at the end of tulete glass. I'm just like, huh? And I'm just like, you know what? Let me go get it. And then I go get it.
Next.
But then in my heart, I'm so disturbed. I'm just like, why did they just look around the room? They couldn't stand. And they just said, wewe. Tuende bottles ama nyama imekawia mahali mmekaa mnakula unaambiwa ende uangalie hiyo nyama imefika wapi. I'm just like,
I know there's that one of ende uangalie, like maybe you're the one who picked the
no,
order
more
or something.
than twice, more
then
than
there's
thrice.
that one enyewe wewe ndio sijui
more than thrice.
Yeah.
And then now the ugly part is after they do that to you, you will settle the bill. Like you're the one that's settling the bill. So you are an alpha, but I don't understand that dynamic. Very weird, but it's very disturbing.
Talking about that, it's like a guy who also now dandias people. Like hana yake, you know, anakuita out with his friends, mnakunywa pombe ya mwanaume mwingine. Like he won't do anything. He's kept by his friends.
By his fellow men.
Oh my disgusting.
God. Yeah. I've experienced that before. And then now when it was time to pay the bill, the two guys left the table, wakaenda kuzurura kwa other tables. Obviously, wanakunywa from those other tables. And then now wakaona, I think they were watching because immediately the bill was settled, they came back to the table. It's just like, is this what you guys do? It's so weird.
Touch it.
Hi, my other ick is men who get extremely drunk in the midst of ladies, and now the ladies have to take care of them. I've had this experience with my sister where we had to put men in Ubers, and I was just like, you know what? I'd rather even stay at home.
Your pillar of strength.
You know, your pillar of strength is collapsing on the chair like this.
Talking.
He can't walk. No, he's stuck in the toilet vomiting. Now, if you know you can't handle your liquor, don't overindulge.
I'ma do it when you're just you and your boys.
Can you imagine?
No, that's
now you're supporting Aki. Okay, I don't know. I feel like it's very excusable if it's a female.
Yeah, because men are meant to naturally, men take care of women, you know, and protect women. When it's the other way, it's not an excuse for women to get too drunk, obviously.
Yeah.
But imagine, even you can't carry a man, at least a man can carry a woman. Sasa, unanza happy.
Imagine.
No. I feel like they should pace yourself.
Ukisikia zinashika sana, just take a break and whatnot. Because hata kama sasa nikaanza kupigwa kwa club, nani ananitetea Aki?
Anadoze na bill imekam.
Not Aki.
Amepuke.
Unani traumatize. Staki wacha.
We don't do that here. Okay, for me, I think my last one is him. Has more than 300 followers.
Has more than 300 followers. So you basically want a man that's non-existent on social media.
No, I'm joking. It's not usually such an ick, but not an overposter. You can't be. You know how girls now we do recaps. So you also
you're there with your morning routine.
That's
tricky.
You just post once a month.
Snapchat filters like
do we still do that?
They do. Aki, there are guys who do. And all that, or like this. I hate this thing they do. Or like this. No, I'm trying posing.
Aki, don't overpose.
I hate it.
Don't overpost.
I hate it.
Don't overlike people's pictures, girls.
Okay, if you say, I understand when you say has more than 300 followers, because you know, there's some guys who I've been talking to, and then I see them on every female's likes. Like you see these girls who pop on Instagram, if you go there, they are there. Even on the comments. Because I saw one time, they were literally, I think it was begging on the comment section. And I was just like, this is the person I'm talking to? I cannot.
It's a hoe.
It cannot. I don't see Ivo. That begging part. You know, you can like, and maybe you just liked and you went.
Yeah.
Now on the comment section, it looks like unaomba.
At least have some. Even and then men don't even omba kwa comments. Mostly they'll DM you the picture and then they
reply. Sasa we ameomba in public. Ile yenye hata ukamua mudate.
Ana shame.
Inaweza patikana na oh no. Hiyo na watu mkono rosa.
Yeah. Me overactivity on social media.
Kabisa,
don't be overactive. Just maybe twice a week.
if you meet someone on social media, how sure are you there? I'm sure if you meet for me, if I meet someone on social media, I know that we're at like 10 of us in that same platform.
You what?
If I meet someone on social media
Mm-hmm.
actually looking to build something with them,
Mm.
I know there are like 10 of us.
Oh, okay. The same DM was sent
Shopped.
to.
Yeah, for sure.
Was
And
sent
then now
to.
yours is the one that ingiad. So he'll go with you until the rest
And then you're replaced.
madness. Madness. But I feel like the more I scrutinize, I think this is why I'm even taking long to like even settle in a
Settle, yeah.
relationship because hey, I'm looking at every single detail, and if it's not, maybe it looks like I'm overdoing it, but honestly, these are things that make sense to me because I've seen this trouble,
Yeah. So
so
you're trying to
I can
judge.
see
Once
trouble
bitten,
brewing.
twice
I can see
shy.
trouble brewing from afar, and I'd rather save myself the heartbreak and just continue with my life the way it is.
But I've seen like success stories like on Twitter, how
True.
it started.
True. Good
And
for
then
them.
yeah.
Even mine if I get a good success
Well and
story.
good.
Yeah, because but this ones, the ones I leave is I've seen bullshit somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I just decide, you know what? Good riddance. So
Mm.
my final nini, my final
Ick.
ick is people like men who like to brag.
Ah,
Like
yuck.
we've literally just met today. You're already showing me your M-Pesa message. You're showing me your M-Pesa statement for the month of
I
June.
was in a meeting with
because that's
so
the
and
time
so.
you met. You spent a lot of money.
Because you are with who?
Yeah, and then they're telling you how they know Prezo, how Prezo went
I
to
mean,
school with
Uhuru.
their grandfather.
Oh, Ruto, sorry, is present now.
Yeah, or Uhuru was their classmate and all that nonsense. I don't like it. I feel
No,
like they
me
use
from
that
everyone.
they use that information. Okay, from everyone.
Yeah, it's such a
True.
turn off by this. Stop talking unprovoked. Kwanza, you know, when someone asks you maybe what do you do,
Mm-hmm.
or hey, I saw you with so and so. How did you?
Yeah,
It makes sense to talk about
if it comes up, yeah.
But even I remember I was talking to someone, some guy, and I remember that call ending, and I was like, "Yuck!" I
unani traumatized.
na actually ni beshte yangu. So I was like, when did you become like this? Because you know, I'm in all the big rooms, you know, send me what, do this for.
And then when you send them, there's literally nothing they'll do for you. There's literally nothing they'll do for you. I was on a call with someone before, and then it was a video call, a simple, honest, a simple video call to just talk to you and then I was nikapewa home tour. And then they're telling me how their kitchen is the best in the world, and I'm just like, really? Really? And that time,
Hey,
bragging for no good reason
the
and
kitchen
provoked to yeah.
is the best. Okay.
I don't know. And it was, I don't want to say it was funny, but it was funny looking.
No, it's fun. Oh, the kitchen.
Yeah, the
of
kitchen
course,
was
not the
funny
best.
looking. So it's
Is
the
it
best
an
by what
architecture
standards, you know?
design?
By what standards? So hata tungesave the conversation tuendelee tu vizuri, but sasa jumtu anawashwa. I feel like they do that so you can ingia box. It's because again, I feel
It's an insecure. I feel like they're insecure.
no, I feel
Mhm.
because relationships have been so commercialized these days, I feel
Mm.
like men think that to impress you, they have to show you things like that. That if you see the M-Pesa statement, you'll feel, oh, this nigga can
I
take
have
care
to
of me.
chill with
Oh, this
him,
nigga can
yeah.
give me money for my hair and all that.
Mm.
I feel like it works against them, with me especially.
Know who you're with. If ni prostitute or some or material
People,
girl,
yeah.
you know that, yeah. Then muonyesha is of it. But some other people, it's more than just maybe even M-Pesa imeshinda yako. You know, I could also decide to show you mine.
And I
Maybe
just,
it's not a thing for me.
yeah. I
Aye.
don't like it when men brag.
Nah.
Hey, the last one before we get this one, I
Yeah,
must say
yeah.
it. Dirty house. Specifically a dirty toilet, honestly.
You had time to at least clean the toilet, honestly.
If you use it every day, it means you see the dirt when it accumulates. Or
Yeah.
like, how can you have a dirty toilet?
And you know it's coming. Most of the time, you know the baby's coming.
Just without anyone coming.
Okay,
just
just
to,
you,
as
the
a
way you
human
stay.
being properly. Not just when the
Yeah,
loo
that's
stinks, the whole
it.
house will just automatically
Yeah.
stink. So
You.
na ukiingia kachoo yenye hata uwezi ama ukisusu unafeel kama hizo jam zote zimekuingililia.
Na bafu. Even me, showers.
Na saizi iko na all the hair from their heads iko literally up. Oh god.
Imeclog. Hata maji haipiti.
That's
Zina float.
wild.
Ai.
Disgusting.
No, please clean.
disgusting.
Mama fours are not expert.
Oh my,
Support
Alexa,
the
you're a
economy.
mean girl.
No. Because I know if you can't do it, get someone
Get someone
jenga
to help
mtu.
you, yeah.
Surely.
Otherwise tumia nini time, lack of time kama excuses.
Nah. Cleanliness
Sure
is
thing.
next to godliness. And that's a demonic person.
You can't compromise.
Yeah. Dirty sheets, dirty.
Hiya, you've heard it from Alexia herself. We have discussed some of our icks.
Yeah.
Feel free to leave some of your icks in the comment section. And so glad that you came to the Cycles podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like you to follow her podcast. It's known
Yes.
as Banter Over Brunch. I think it's on every streaming
Yes,
platform.
every streaming. Most
Yeah,
except
will call them a
SoundCloud.
platform.
Platform except SoundCloud because we're not
Okay.
gonna pay for it.
I don't think I also have mine on platform, but I also don't think I have mine on SoundCloud, but on
Yeah,
every other
every
platform, it's available.
Yes.
Be sure to also follow us on our social media pages at Maeve Cheryl on Instagram or at the Cycles_podcast on Instagram or at Maeve Cheryl1 on Twitter. And to follow Alexia.
Yes, it's Miss Musao. So it's Miss Musao on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Be sure to leave your comments, like, share, and subscribe. See you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye guys.